So there's some big news for XRP on the horizon, and before I get into it in this video, I wanted to talk about what the markets were doing in the last 24 hours because it is wild. Over $1 trillion worth of value was liquidated from the market. But today, being Monday, a lot of it bounced back very quickly. And so I'm going to tell you what the narratives are as to what actually caused that liquidation event, what caused the bounce, and what we're going to be looking forward to in the next couple of weeks. And yes, I think it's going to be big for XRP. Hey everyone, my name is Randy. Welcome back to the Late Night Grind. And right now on this channel, we are covering cryptocurrency news, investment markets, and personal finance. So if any or all those topics interest you, go ahead, hit that subscribe button, join the Late Night Grind community. If you do a couple things, I'd appreciate it. Smash the thumbs up button and watch this video all the way to the end. If you do that, I'd greatly appreciate it. All right, guys. Let's jump into it. So yes, a wild day over the weekend when the cryptocurrency markets took a big nosedive. Over $1 trillion was wiped out, at least temporarily. Now, Bitcoin had sunk all the way down to about 91,000, and as of today, as of the recording, it had cracked 102,000, regaining most of what it had lost yesterday. Most of the altcoin market was also demolished yesterday, notably XRP being the one of the biggest that got hit the hardest. Now, I specifically wanted to talk about XRP and what happened and then what was the cause of all this. So XRP, once it crossed over that approximately $2.85 threshold, caused a cascade effect of basically stop losses triggering, and everybody who had their stop losses under that number started to trigger, which created monstrous sell-offs. Monstrous sell-offs into huge liquidity that went down all the way to $2. And in fact, it went all the way down to about $1.80, at least very, very temporarily. Now, what actually caused it to go down that low? Well, like I said, there was a huge amount of liquidity, stop losses sitting under that $2.85 price point. So once that price hit that and people had their stop losses from when they had bought in previously, maybe around $2.80, maybe $3, whatever that number was, it caused a cascading effect of a sell-off, creating a sell-off, creating a sell-off. Now, what was pointed out online from what I saw is that the order books were also extremely thin. Somebody said it was actually like it was selling off into air, i.e. thin air, meaning there was no big buy orders all the way down to that $1.80 level. It just went all the way down until it found support, at which it did around $2, bounced up extremely quickly. Now, a very seasoned trader may have timed it right and made a pretty penny as it bounced last night and into today all the way back up. Same with Bitcoin, same with the rest of the altcoins. And from a technical perspective, several people actually saw this coming. In fact, 3 of the technical analysts that I saw were predicting almost these exact same numbers a week ago. They had their trade setups set up. They told you what numbers to look out for and how far it was actually going to retrace, how far that number was going to pull back, maybe not necessarily for XRP, but for the market as a whole. And they were pretty close to being spot on. So the technical traders knew it was coming. So what actually caused it? Because if you looked at the mainstream media headlines, some of them were saying, well, on Sunday, Trump announced his tariffs to Canada, to Mexico, and they, of course, are trying to spin that as something that's going to be economically devastating for the United States. It's going to cause inflation, and of course, it's a lot of spin, most of which is not true at all. So, a lot of that uncertainty, a lot of that fear, a lot of that being an extremely illiquid market over the weekend in which fiat currency can't enter that market, but which crypto can leave very quickly, all of those factors combined to cause what is essentially $1 trillion liquidation event and gave people a huge buying opportunity to buy in, and depending on what you bought, could have gained 10 to 15% on spot, just on spot alone, if you are doing any trading. And if you are doing any trading, I hope you are doing it on Bydfi, which is a partner of the Late Night Grind community. There's a link in this description below. You can also see on the graphic on this video. Bydfi has some amazing trading tools. They have just introduced copy trading. If you're using a mobile device, you can leverage trade up to 200x leverage on Bitcoin, up to 150x on XRP if you want to trade XRP, albeit be extremely, extremely careful when using leverage. It is also a United States friendly exchange. There is no KYC needed. All you need is an email address, make a deposit, and go ahead and start trading. Also, there's a link to a Signal group that is specific to the Late Night Grind community. And if you are a member of Bydfi, just put in your user ID, get verified, and you'll get free trading signals. And they have been almost spot on, an extremely high win rate for these trading signals that Bydfi is giving. Click the link in the description below, get verified, and you can start getting those trading signals absolutely free. Just become a Bydfi member through the link below. Okay, so finally on to the bigger news for XRP, and this isn't necessarily breaking news, it's a couple of days old, but I wanted to talk about the BlackRock filing of an XRP ETF. Now that's big because BlackRock is of course one of the biggest money managers in the world, if not the biggest, and they have officially filed their XRP ETF, an exchange-traded fund, to give essentially institutional investors, fiat investors, exposure to the price action to the value of XRP through an ETF. That's basically the same thing Bitcoin did last year. There's a couple others going off this year, and it's not the only XRP ETF. In fact, there's 7 of them that were filed that are being moved to the SEC for approval. So I'm going to be following that, of course, very closely on this channel because I believe that that's going to be huge once they are approved. The timing of it, we're going to have to see when that's actually going to happen. Is it going to be in time for essentially the rest of this bull market in 2025? But if you want to make sure you're up to date on that, you got to subscribe to the Late Night Grind community. You got to follow me on X, link in the description below. And like I said, if you're an active trader, you can do it through Bydfi, a great trading place that I do all my trading through. And of course, like I said, no KYC. All you need is an email address to get started. And once again, thank you so much for watching this video all the way to the end, for smashing that thumbs up button. And I'll see you guys on the next video.
Lambo dreams fueled by them crypto stacks. Future in our hands, we ain't looking back. XRP to the moon, watch them rise and shine.